Welcome to the official first part of this video series where I, a previously totally unstylish buffoon, overhaul my fashion. I've decided to call the previous video in this series the prologue because it's mostly about everyday carry and not really about fashion. If you haven't seen that video and would like to, you can watch it before or after this video through the link in the description or the card above. So I've never been what I would call fashionable. I found the whole thing to be kind of incomprehensible. Like, how can you tell whether something is or is not fashionable? Often it just seemed arbitrary to me. I did have a pretty distinct sense of style throughout college and into my 20s, but it wasn't governed by any kind of fashion knowledge. I also did go through phases where this sense of style evolved, but I don't think it really changed that significantly. Let's go on a little walk down memory lane that's sure to be cringe-worthy for me and hopefully fun for you. So I've always been a skinny guy. I'm around 5'7" and I'm pretty sure I used to be legitimately around the 100 to 110 pound range. As an adult, I peaked at around 140 and at present I'm around 125. And because I'm a skinny guy, I just dressed in a lot of slim to tight fitting clothing. A lot of tiny shirts, some of which were probably one size too small for me. I was also very much into emo and pop punk music and saw myself as a kind of edgy, counterculture nonconformist. So I had the wallet chain, studded belts, band tees, and some crazy hairstyles. When I started working, I got a bunch of polo shirts for the office. I phased out most of the edgy accessories and hairstyles. It was all still slim-fitting stuff and always just a t-shirt or polo shirt with some jeans or chinos and some sneakers. Later on, I would start making digital art and design some stuff for tees, and those made it into my wardrobe as well. I've also always had a fondness for outerwear, despite living in a country where it's more often than not too hot to wear those kinds of things. So that's where I came from. And this old style also directly influenced my goals for this fashion overhaul. I wanted to go beyond slim fitting. I wanted to ditch the polo shirts entirely, as I saw them as too, I don't know, good boy, nice guy, or just came home from my startup tech job. Aside from these goals, I didn't really have much more direction or knowledge, as I alluded to earlier. I took to Pinterest and YouTube for inspiration and settled on a minimalist style that seems to be popular in Korea. Before making any purchases, I first needed to declutter my closet. If you watch the prologue, then you know that I have a bit of a hoarding habit. I got rid of a lot of articles of clothing that I never really ever wore. I'll show you some of the pieces that I did keep later on when we used them to build some outfits. To achieve my minimalist Korean aesthetic goals, I first went to Uniqlo. I tried some stuff on and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to buy, but I ended up with 3 t-shirts in an oversized fit. I really like these. They're a big departure from my old style. I especially like this white one with a pocket and waffle pattern. For shoes, I knew I wanted a classic, versatile, all-white pair of sneakers. The Stan Smith from Adidas was my first choice, but they're quite expensive, so I settled on the Advantage shoes, also from Adidas, at a lower price. There's another model, the Advantage Base, at an even lower price, but it doesn't have the midsole stitching, so I settled for the Advantage. Honestly, both of these look so similar to the Stan Smiths to me that I don't know why you'd go for the more expensive model. I went around malls looking at and trying on various types of clothes. I started browsing the local buy and sell app Carousel and bookmarking some potential purchases. I started a wish list of pieces that I wanted to add into my wardrobe. One of those pieces is a long-sleeved button-down shirt, and I was able to find one for pretty cheap on sale at Mango. Another piece on the list is a pair of cargo pants. I wanted something in a looser fit as opposed to most of the pants I already had. I also wanted something without the jogger-style leg opening, but that seemed to be the prevalent type, unfortunately. I settled on this pair from Old Navy and I got it for half off during the 9/9 sale event. It also does have some drawstrings on the leg openings, but you don't have to use them. I may end up cutting them off. We'll see. This was a bit of a risk as I'd bought these pants online, so I couldn't try them on beforehand. Fortunately, I do love the way they look and fit. They are a little bit slimmer than I expected though. At this point, I was still going about this pretty aimlessly. I had my list, but I didn't really have much of a vision for what I wanted my style to be. I realized that I didn't want to lean too heavily toward minimalism. Unfortunately for me, I'd already bought 3 plain tees from Uniqlo. And whenever I'd go out, I'd just wear one of those because I'd just gotten so tired of all of my slim-fitting tees. But those outfits would end up pretty boring. I could layer, but that would make the oversized fit of the t-shirts kind of pointless. So in an attempt to add some visual little flair to my outfits, I delved into the world of jewelry. I started out with some dirt cheap stainless steel pieces from a Chinese shop called Vnox Jewelry, just to find out what I liked and what fit me before I shelled out more money on better quality pieces. They're actually pretty nice, and I don't have any complaints about them. Later on, I discovered a local shop called Jairo Jewelry that has some stunning pieces. These cost more than the Vnox ones, but are still not that much more expensive, especially if you're able to get them at a discount like I did. I found out that adjustable rings exist, so I got one of those in this nice little leafy design. Very Greek, but seriously, these are very nice, and the adjustable thing does work, but I'm kind of nervous about bending it too much for fear that I might break it. Like, I'm not gonna be wearing this on my skinnier fingers, and I'm not gonna try to get it to fit on my thumb. And the other piece I got is this necklace with a pendant. I picked this really skinny snake chain at a 20-inch length. I love the look of it, and the pendant does also fit on my other necklace, which is a nice bonus. You may have noticed that all of the jewelry I got is silver, nothing gold. That's because I feel like gold matches my skin color too closely. On my watch, it's fine since there's other colors going on there. I don't know, I'll probably go get some gold pieces in the future as well. But in the meantime, I wanted an all silver watch to match all of my silver jewelry. After a lot of research, I settled on this version of the Casio A700 with the monochrome face and mesh bracelet. I basically just copied Harry Has. Shout out to Harry, probably my favorite fashion YouTuber. Go watch and subscribe to him. I do love the look of it, but unfortunately, the bracelet does not seem to be made for wrists as skinny as mine. There seems to be a minimum wrist size for it to fit snug. Like, the bracelet isn't super flexible, and so it wants to form to a certain shape that doesn't match my wrist. I tried out different adjustments of the sizing and settled on this fit, and as you can see, there is a gap, but it's actually not uncomfortable, and because the sides are tight, it doesn't really move around that much either. So it's not ideal, but it's fine. As they say in Filipino, tiis ganda, which translates to something like bear it to be beautiful. I don't know, how would you translate it? Put it in comments. I'd been browsing Carousel for a while at this point, just bookmarking pieces and never buying them, but I finally bit the bullet and made my very first thrift purchase. I'd had my eye on Champion t-shirts for a while, and I purchased this navy one with an embroidered multicolored script logo on the chest. It does have signs of use, including a bit of wrinkling in the collar, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition. The fabric is nice and heavyweight. The fit is smaller than I'd have preferred, but I think it looks great all the same. My partner also gave me a couple of pieces to add to my wardrobe. This first one is a Uniqlo graphic tee. It's in size XL but seems to be in a women's cut, as the length is much shorter than you'd expect from a men's XL. I actually really love how this fits on me. The length is perfect at between 26 and 27 inches. You get a nice dropped shoulder as well as nice long sleeves. I may have to start shopping in the women's section. And the other piece is this black denim jacket from Mango. Again, this was made for women, but I also really like how it fits on me. The length is pretty noticeably cropped, and so I'll probably pair this with some similarly boxy tops like the ones from Uniqlo. Okay, we've made our purchases and I think it's enough to start making outfits. Honestly, I still don't really quite know what I'm doing, so these might end up being terrible looking, but hey, we all gotta start somewhere, right? And just to remind you, I'm 5'7" and 125 pounds. First up, we've got that navy Champion tee paired with the old navy cargo pants and Adidas Advantage sneakers. I've cuffed the pants and have some black socks on for some color contrast between the pants and the shoes. For most of these fits, there will be an optional outer layer. Here, it's this Adidas varsity jacket from De La Salle University, where I graduated from college. Outfit number 2 is composed of the white Uniqlo oversized pocket tee, a pair of Giordano chino shorts, and the Adidas Advantage sneakers. These shorts are an old pair that I had altered for a shorter length. I think it looks quite good on me, sitting above my knees. I've got a pair of no-show socks on, and I think the colors come together very well here. The outer piece here is the Mango flannel, with the sleeves rolled up a bit to match the casual vibe of the outfit, as well as show off my wrist accessories. For outfit 3, we've got the gray Uniqlo oversized tee, a pair of cropped black trousers, and some black Vans sneakers. The pants and shoes here are both old pieces. I had the trousers altered for a cropped fit. The outer layer here is the black mango denim jacket. I think this fit looks best with the jacket, and I love how the cropped length of it matches the t-shirt's shorter length. Next up, we have a very relaxed casual outfit consisting of the Uniqlo graphic tee, a pair of chino shorts also from Uniqlo, and some Birkenstock Arizonas. These shorts are also old and were also altered for a nice above the knee length. No outer piece here. Instead, we've got this brown corduroy tote bag and the black baseball cap. Our fifth outfit is composed mostly of old clothes. We've got this black graphic tee, some black chino pants, the Adidas Advantage sneakers, and a Uniqlo denim jacket. The shoes are the only new piece in this fit. This is more along the lines of my old style with a lot of slim fitting stuff, but I still love how this fit looks on me. Outfit number 6 is a little bit too fashion forward for me to wear out in public right now, I think. We've got a plain black sleeveless tee, a pair of gray trousers, and some black Oxford shoes. This tee wasn't originally sleeveless. I removed the sleeves myself after being inspired by one of my fashionable friends to try out some sleeveless tees. The trousers and shoes are part of a suit that I bought earlier this year for a wedding. I wanted to be able to incorporate those pieces into some casual outfits since I didn't know when I'd ever be able to use them again. To close out this section, I'd just like to show you a few pieces that I had difficulty styling. These are all old pieces that I've had for years, but I don't want to get rid of them because they've been so sturdy and reliable. First is this dark gray hoodie from Gap. I love this thing. It's so soft and comfortable, and I'm pretty sure it's around 10 years old at this point, but still looks brand new. Next is this army green jacket from Cotton On. I love the hoodie and denim details this has. Unfortunately, it does have a few bleach stains here and there, but otherwise it's still in really great condition. And finally, here's a pair of Levi's 511 slim jeans. I don't know any details about it, unfortunately, as it is probably around 10 years old as well. The fabric seems to be some kind of blend as it is super soft. If you've got any tips or suggestions on how I might be able to style these 3 pieces, please leave them in the comments. And that concludes part 1 of my fashion overhaul. Once again, I've taken way too long to make a video, and so I've already got a bunch of purchases that I'm reserving for the next part of this series. I'm also looking to feature local fashion, lifestyle, and streetwear brands pretty prominently in part 2. Brands like Team Manila, Gnarly, Artwork, and Kings of the Court. If you have any suggestions or feedback for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. Thanks for watching.